Oh god, what's the next song gonna be? Oh, that's cool. Alright. Hey chat. Do you ever just, like, get awful sleep several nights in a row? And then wake up feeling like they, like, patched out the well-rested bonus? Like it's gone now? That's where we're at. I have just been sleeping like shit lately, man. I don't... Oh no. But I'm alright. I think we should be good to stream today. Thought about not doing it, but then I realized I was gonna miss 2 great rotations. I don't want to do that. So let's do that. I mean, not the missing... not the missing thing. Let's play Salmon Run. Oh, it's good music though. It's very Stardew Valley. That's, Realgam Tower, which is one hell of a name. From Pokemon Coliseum. And this is Splatoon. So, today... let's check what we got going on. Look at this. 2 great maps. I Spy. 7 great weapons. And ink brush is there too. It's gonna be really weird. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is gonna be an odd rotation. The first one's not so bad. That I can say. I kinda like this first one. Dynamo's gonna be weird, but the utility makes up for how weird the weapon is in this mode, I feel like. Like, there's only so many weapons you can, filter glowflies with and have, like, no issue. There's also only so many weapons you can do this with in the practice room, so that's cool. It's always nice to be able to do a little bouncy trick. But at least for this first map, we start at EVP 400. And who knows what evil Jammin' Salmon Junction will bring. Jammin' Salmon Junction is like the best map in the game. I like Bone Rattle a little bit more, and we're doing Bone Rattle today. We're doing both today. We're doing this one right now. We're doing Bone Rattle right now. What's happened? What is it? What's wrong? Oh my god, I just started screaming. You can't do this. You can't. You can just walk in here and scream. Stop it. Ah, god. I forgot to set up my monitor tablet. This is gonna be great. It's gonna be a real weird stream. I'm sure like 10-20 minutes into this, I will have like all my energy normalized. But for the very beginning, it's just not been... it's not been a good couple of, restful nights. That's the bottom line. Oh, can't do that. So to kind of wake me up, why don't we discuss this rotation? Ah. Because Bone Rattle is always a good place to be. I can't think of a single rotation I've had on Bone Rattle that I've been like, ew, I don't want to be here. It's just such a good map. We need more maps like this, with like fun gimmicks and not just awful layouts. That has been the gimmick of most of the maps in Salmon Run, just like, here you go. The layout is tiny. That's the gimmick. Marooner's Bay, the Salmon Run. Oh, we're gonna lose. You know what? Yeah, this guy's got both of them. We'll just get these eggs in the meantime. Ugh. We can do this. We do this. We totally do this. Easy. Alright, forgive me, I'm just setting up. And I think we're good. Yep. Alright. We're alive. Oh no, I'm late. Okay, where were we this rotation? Whoa. Whoa. Speaking of the King of the Hill noise, I saw the poster for the new King of the Hill series. They finally released like a JPEG. The irony is not lost on me. But they showed off the new character models. They're fucking 2D images. What am I talking about? That's problematic. So, Hank Hill just looks older. You'd expect it. Bill hasn't aged a fucking day. He looks the exact same. Bill, has attained immortality, it would seem. Boomhauer looks older. And Dale is there. That's the thing that's confusing me the most. I really thought they would retire Dale's character. Considering that he's, you know, the voice actor's no longer with us. And it kind of hurts when they keep a character like that going, when the voice actor was just perfect. It's a really easy thing to do horribly wrong. We're not gonna win, are we? Win! We tried! You know what? I think, that triple UFO, the triple Salmon lid at the very beginning, I think that might have been a bad thing. I think that might be where everything went wrong. This comp doesn't have a lot of tools to deal with that. I blame nobody. So, the comp. Let's talk about it. I like this comp. I like all these weapons. We've talked about Squiffer very recently, in that 300 damage... Oh god. I gotta wake up. 300 damage in a straight line that can pierce is always a good thing to have. But with this weapon it charges really, really fast. And that's a pretty good thing for this mode. I like Squiffer here. Luna Blaster, we talked about as well, is very, very good in Salmon Run. Obviously the range thing means it's hard to deal with certain fights, like the triple Salmon lid earlier. But outside of that, it's like ridiculously powerful. I don't know if I like Dynamo in Salmon Run, if I'm being honest. I can think of way more situations that it's hurt than help. But then Glowflies happens and you're like ecstatic to have a roller on your team, so not all that bad. Also, you have the... I forgot you have this matchup, watch this. You can like... You can get these guys to just like bounce you forward into them again and cycle hits on the big cannon man. I forgot his name for so long just now that I was like, you know what? Yeah, screw it. We're calling him Big Cannon Man again. I don't care. It's the big shot. There we go. We figured it out. Oh no. Oh, this is not a good spot to be. I'm rolling. I'm rolling out of here. Oh, there's so much going on. And I'm a slow dynamo. I helped. I contributed. Oh no. Oh no. That was embarrassing. So yeah, being horrible in terms of ink efficiency is not the best for this weapon in this mode. And the AoE that is normally like busted in PvP doesn't feel all that strong in this mode. Hell, it doesn't even feel that strong in PvP, but that's not what this is about. You can probably hear it in my voice. Something's up. Oh no. Yeah, over the last couple of nights, it has genuinely felt like you have to be doing something very specific. Like, I said the word patch notes earlier, like they added a patch to sleeping, and they patched out the well-rested bonus. It feels like something was patched, and that you have to be sleeping in a very specific way to be getting any rest from it now. And I know that can't be. There's no way. It's simply not possible. So maybe I've just been having a couple bad days in terms of sleep. Probably it. Look at that visual. That's beautiful. I've never once taken a moment to stop and breathe in the salmon tornado. Ah. Sorry if that was loud. Almost fell through the grates there. And it scared me. What else is on this comp? Glugas! I really like Glugas in this mode. No, why are we not doing the cool slam dunk? Come on, guys. You can do it. Oh, they can't do it. They can't do it at all. Me and like one other guy have been hitting the basket, that's it. Do they not know that you can just throw these straight into the basket from right here? Easy money. So I like Glugas in this mode. The DPS is sublime. It's the same as it is in PvP, at 52.5. Which you'd think would be a bit of a nerf, but it doesn't feel as bad as it does on, what's it called? Ah! I'm not paying attention, am I? It doesn't feel as bad as it does on, 52 gal. Especially when you can do this and get way more than 52 damage. I think that's how it works. But in turret mode, this weapon ends up being one of the better plays in most situations. Win a slam dunk. Oh shit! Oh, thank god that snake wasn't targeting me. That would have been horrid. Where is the thinger? Oh, he's over there now. You know, okay, I've got a dumb story to tell. You ever just like, you know, you're hanging out with your friends in person, and an odd series of events results in a thing that you all just say for the rest of your lives? I was thinking today about how, like, in college, my friends and I got really... my roommates, actually, we got really into, shitty hypotheticals. Uh-oh. Like, hypotheticals that are... they're almost interesting, and then the stupidest thing you've ever heard happens. Like, alright. You walk into a room, and there's a button. And you push this button. One random person on Earth trips, scrapes their knee, and you get 10 cents deposited into your bank account. You can push the button as many times as you want. Fat Albert is there, he's in the room, and he's judging you for all your misdeeds. I don't know why Fat Albert being there was always a thing. But this is not the story I was intending to tell. Those, hypotheticals really started to fall apart when Fat Albert showed up. But one day, a long, long time ago, when dinosaurs roamed the earth, my best friend and I were in high school, at the very tail end of it, and we started watching Kitchen Nightmares with Gordon Ramsay, which is a great show. It's a good time. It was at one point all on YouTube, so we didn't have to pay for anything, which was always a boon. We were watching Kitchen Nightmares. And in the intro, of the episode, there's a guy talking to Gordon Ramsay, and they're having an argument, and then it does a jump cut. And immediately he's somewhere else, and he goes, "Hey, chef!" And then it does another jump cut, and he's now behind the checkout counter. And the dude is basically teleporting around, if continuity is anything to go by. And this was at a time where we were a little stupid, so we started just like, kind of improvising dubs for the characters. This was like, what, 10 years ago? No, more, holy shit. This was 12, 13 years ago. We started kind of improvising what the character was saying. And very quickly, this character's gimmick became, "Hey, chef, I'm over here now!" The dude is teleporting, and he knows. And he's trying to flex it on Gordon Ramsay. "Hey, chef!" He's just warping around. Teleporting chef is the new hot character for this stream. We're adding him to the list. I love teleporting chef. Maybe one day I can show the clip. But right now I would have to do some soul searching to find a way to show it without getting copy claimed. Oh no, someone's gotta go over there, and that someone's gonna be me. I did my job. I did my part. Oh man, you can tell that I'm like maybe falling apart in the head when I'm willing to tell my stories that I know are objectively unfunny and uninteresting. And yet they mean enough to me that I'm able to convince myself that they're worth saying. Teleporting chef is one. Fat Albert being there is another. Do I have any more, like, garbage ones that I need, that I've been dying to get off my chest? I told Stone Gray last time about the robotics teacher that in a high school environment basically just made us organize his Lego bins for several years. Then he went on, like, a tirade about how, like, this 2x3 brick of his is in stone gray, and only 6 of them exist in the world, and he has one. I failed to mention that the guy was a mammoth of a man. He was a monster. He had such a presence to him. And his aesthetic was Hawaiian t-shirt. Button-up. Hawaiian button-up shirt. He was iconic. That was the thing I failed to mention. He reminded me of the, I think he was the hacker in Jurassic Park? That guy? A lot like him, but a lot older. Like, imagine a George Lucas face on that guy. Today we're focusing on characters. We're looking into who do we know? Who should we add to the stream's canon? We know Fat Albert is there. Teleporting Chef. Stone Greyman. Stone Greyman. Uh-oh. I think there's some stock in these characters. I think we could invest and maybe come out the other end with something legitimate. Oh good, Snake is dead. Snake. Did we lose the first, run? I cannot remember. We did, okay. It's falling apart. But it's okay, this rotation only has 30 minutes left, so... I know for a fact the next rotation is gonna wake me up. This rotation doesn't have a lot of, what's the word? High energy weapons? They're pretty much all on the slower side. I'd say the one with the most energy is probably the Squipper. Wow, we only got one egg from that. What a shame. But the next rotation is gonna be so crazy. It's a bunch of high energy weapons. And I know there's no way I can play that without waking the fuck up. Speaking of which, when that rotation comes around, I might have to do a quick BRB because I have to carry a bunch of broken construction materials and put them in a truck to earn my keep around here. Wow, high tide for goldie seeking is not particularly great for this map, is it? Uh-oh. Oh good, they didn't notice. Oh, it's not looking so hot. Never mind, it's looking hot. We're good. Yeah, get him. Get him out of here. I'm still scared of the randomly dropping frames. It seems that we've been good so far today. Granted, it's only been 30 minutes. But the first 10 minutes has been where it's been happening lately, and then it's just fine for the next several hours, up to 6 hours. I still don't know the cause. I want to blame the Wi-Fi though. I think our Wi-Fi's been struggling ever since those strange men showed up and put a cable in my backyard. They buried it, by the way. They left it unburied for about 3 weeks? They finally buried the cable. So now there's not this, like, ugly orange wire running through my beautiful backyard. At long last. You know what? I forgot I even titled the stream Salmon Running on Empty. I'm glad we did that. That was not going to be the title when I set up, but I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm running on empty, we could do that. Sometimes I just like to watch the audience animating at 2 to 3 frames per second. Wait a minute, are they all at 2? They're all animating at 2. That's beautiful. I'm happy for them. No, why didn't that work? That didn't make sense. No! Let me contribute! Oh, I'm horrible at this. I'm not making a good show. Well, it's time to earn my keep. I'm gonna go on and get that stingray. We gotta go. No! How did I mess that up? How did I do that? Wait, oh, I guess I mistimed it. I was hoping to do a jump and then a roll. And I've been practicing the Dually Squelcher's tech, but I guess not enough. Can't do it. What a cool weapon. We've talked a lot about, like, the different weapons that I've picked up over the years. Yeah, it's been a couple years. Right? Think so. Because there's a lot of weapons in this game that I really, really enjoy. But a lot of them I've had to stop using. Because it's either like you go all in on practicing this weapon, or you suffer being horrible at the weapon for all of time. And sword is the one that I usually use as an example there. But I forgot to talk about dualies. Because I actually kind of like dualies. I like the mechanics, I like what you can do with it. It's a cool weapon class. But I had to stop using it. Because the name of the game with dualies is, can you do a bunch of flick shots in dodge roll? Can you do it? Can you make it happen? And the answer might surprise you. I can't do it. I could just constantly practice that and, like, eventually get good at it. But I don't know if that's for me, doing a bunch of flick shots as the, as my way of moving around the map and playing the game. I just don't know if that's how I like to play the game. Granted, we still get a couple flick shots. We are, Ah! How did he do that? How did he do that? Oh, you beaten devil. I'm dead. I'm not dead! Gotta get over there. There we go. No, there's more missiles! One of my favorite things about Inkjet is that you can use the exhaust to take care of one enemy while you're dealing with another, using your primary fire. I didn't just call it Inkzhaust, did I? I hope I didn't. we're not doing so hot in terms of brain power today. Maybe I should have eaten a meal before I started streaming, but I wasn't hungry. I'm still not hungry. I just probably need fuel. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, that was a very disappointing grenade throw. We played that that song from Mario Kart, Squeaky Clean Sprint, right before the stream started. Right when the stream started. What a song! My God, if you like when chords change, it's a good song. They have a lot of very good chord changes. A lot of stock ones and a lot of, less common ones as well. Oh, you son of a bitch. Why would you do this? I was aiming there. Over this... not weekend, what would you call it? Over this fateful Wednesday, I had to run an errand and drive like an hour and a half. And I was gonna listen to an album that I got recommended. But when I booted up my, my sound system in my car, I was like, you know what? There's a bass line that's playing in my head right now, and it goes boom, 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 boodle-doo-doo-doo. Wait a minute. That's Roy Hargrove's Strasbourg/St. Denis. I want to hear that. So I put it on, and I had such a good time listening to that tune. Oh. Please, please! It was worth it. I was not happy with how that, Missile Man fight played out just now. So, Strasbourg St. Denis, really, really good recording by Roy Hargrove, and his combo. A lot of good musicians in that recording, and a lot of good solos. But I enjoyed it so much. But I said, you know what? I kinda wanna boot up my old Jazz Studies playlist. I made a playlist way back when I was doing combo work, where if there was a song that I wanted to be able to play for combo, for big band, for anything, I would find a bunch of different recordings. Some in a similar style, some in a completely different style. Like, So What by Miles Davis. I found a recording where the band is just 3 guitarists, and the album is called The Pizza Tapes. And those 3 guitarists can hold it down. Oh my god, they do not need a rhythm section, they are the rhythm section. There's a lot of creative recordings that I found there. Or that I found and then put there, rather. And I was listening to these tunes, and there was just so much to think about, and even to talk about with these tunes that I was thinking, like, you know, maybe I should do a stream one of these days. Copyright be damned. Let the VOD get muted. You know, like, what's one upload missing from the VOD channel? What's the deal, you know? Why not? And it'll be a day where we just play a repetitive game, like what we're doing now. With the music off. So it probably can't be Splatoon, because you don't have that option, which still, bugs me. Nintendo, says, do not mod your software. Do not mod your hardware. If you mod your hardware and connect to our service, we have the right to destroy your system from the inside. Also Nintendo. Alright, come watch our Splatoon tournament. Here, we've modified our system so our spectators get better cameras. Rules for thee, but not for me. It's another good jazz standard, but not for me. Anyways, we have to pick a game. I'm thinking TF2 right now. Nintendo lawyers hit themselves in confusion. It's accurate. That's like their trademark play. Let me leave. Let me live. I'm alive. I'm just gonna stay over here, and then we're gonna lose the game. It's gonna be great. But yeah, if I'm gonna do a stream where we just listen to a bunch of old jazz tapes, I'm gonna need the perfect game for it. And that might be tough to find. I was thinking TF2, but the more I think about it, the more you're gonna be hearing, like, explosions and people screaming. And people going, medic! And, thanks! Good work! The more you're gonna be hearing that, you won't be able to pay attention to the music whatsoever. I'll have to find the right game for it. That's gonna be a task. Indeed. Man, there are times when I would just really like to be able to, have a modded Switch so that I could record Splatoon videos better. But I don't have an SD card reader on my PC, so I'm SOL. I can't do it. I still spam medic line as medic. That line is indispensable. I love it when people play the audio of medic, and then after he goes, meh, they turn it back around, and he goes, mem. Mem. It's a good line. I've had a couple games in TF2 where it's just like a full team of medics, and they're all spamming medic the whole time. It's like, but this time it's a threat, you know? Usually it's like a cry for help. This time it's, watch out, here come the medics. Ooh, I'm gonna try to do the big cannon man tech. If I big can. I probably can't. Thank you for saving me. You saved my life, Blunder. They never spawn the big cannon man when I want to show off my cool tech. Messed up. It's all I can think about now. Oh no! I tried to slip out of there, but dynamo heavy. Dynamo heavy moment. I was not joking about the main thing keeping me from modifying my hardware is that I can't do an SD card reader on my PC. They don't tell you a lot of secret knowledge, secret info, when you're building a PC. They tell you about, like, which graphics cards are best. They tell you about a lot of things, but they don't tell you, that getting a Bluetooth module costs another $200, and an SD card reader is also a little bit overpriced. So I didn't pay for either of those when I built mine. And I've regretted it a little bit. But that's the difference between like a $2,000 PC and a $2,500 PC, so no thanks. You also need a launch Switch console. The thing is, this one right here that I'm playing on is falling the fuck apart. It's not doing so well. It has seen better days. I can't even use it in handheld anymore. The screen is really fucked up. You know what? Balorov, you might know exactly what I'm talking about. You know how, like, in Xenoblade 2, sometimes in the cutscenes, there's this weird cross-stitching dithered effect? It happens in-game, too, when people get, like, a little too close to each other or the camera. Ah! There's this weird cross-stitching dithering effect. And I'm actually, like, kinda convinced that that effect broke my Switch. Because I was watching a cutscene in Torna. It was showing a close-up of a Malphus, and suddenly the entire screen is covered in the dithering effect. And it's distorting, and I was like, wow, this is an interesting effect for depicting the secret evil that Malos? What's his name? That a Malphus is. And then it didn't go away. And I kind of realized that that cutscene broke my Switch. The screen is busted now. There's a lot of circles in the ground right now. Oh, we're fine. It was worth the extra egg. I'm still alive, what the hell? So yeah, I can't use my Switch in handheld mode anymore, which was one of the main reasons that I got into Splatoon. At least you got yourself a different problem. My original Switch fan screeched its last while playing MH Rise. I like that wording. Screeched its last. It do be screeching. Yeah, everyone I know that got a Switch close to launch is now having their own console-ruining problem. I have a friend whose Switch is, like, bloated. I can't think of a better way to describe that. It's like someone stuffed a rock into the middle of the Switch, and the physical attributes of it are being stretched around it. I had to buy a new one, Zelda Switch console. These things be dying. So Switch 2 better be what we're fucking paying for if it's gonna be like $500. The battery is almost bursting in its delight. These things were not built to last. Nintendo consoles never are. Oh, I've got a stupid story. I shouldn't have hit the trigger, I could have lived. There's something I was saying before I get into the story. It's probably not that important, but I forgot. It's always important. It's a lot cheaper in my region as it doesn't affect my region. I'm so fucking jealous, dude. The United States economy is in the most questionable state it has been in since the day I breathed my first. And I was here for the, what would you call it? Not a depression. The 2008 thingy. Pre-2017 was stable. You're right! It's been a while! Almost 10 years of economic instability. Oh my god, look at these guys go! They're throwing strikes! They're crazy! Oh, we can do this. We do this. We do this. This is no problem for this team. We do this. 100%. Please. Thank you. I didn't want to roll again. Then Trump comes in and shits on everything like a seagull. Like a seagull. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I think I figured out the secret to, Trump's gimmick. And it's not much of a secret at this point. Everyone kind of knows. But I think his goal is to make a big fuss about a lot of dumb, pointless shit, and then not actually have any plans with it. And to make enough separate, loud fusses that no one pays attention to the actual impactful changes. I think that's the tactic. It's diversionary. It's kind of genius when you think about it. It's in a fucked up, mega maniacal kind of way. Shit. I lost my... I had a train of thought on something. It's gone. Oh no. My point still stands. He shits on everything knowingly. Knowingly. He knows. Even gold has a color close to shit. Polish a turd, it's still a turd. He loves gold. I feel like there was a story that was important I really wanted to get to this time, for real. What could it have been? My memory is such dog shit, man. I'm so sad about it. It wasn't always this way, but then I went to college and got way overstimulated for way too many years, and eventually my brain just kind of broke. Now all I can remember is like the Salmon Run weapon balance and that thing that Dunban says when he does Blossom Dance. That's it. Oh, this rotation's about to end. I don't think I contributed just now. I think the sniper kind of had that. Oh, big cannon man, and I'm not the roller. I never get to be the guy. I got you, Opry. Oh, there you are. Don't say that. You just mentioned Blossom Dance. Never mind, you're fucked. I think about it a lot. The born into a world of strife. Against the odds. We choose to fight. I think about that a lot. Blossom Dance! I think about it all the time. It goes so hard as a line. It's so perfectly done, Ben. And I was playing RimWorld and some dude showed up named Dubman and he killed 2 prisoners and like my favorite colonist in one blow. And I'm not gonna forget it. I'm having a tough time living it down. I read it as Dunban the first time. I was like, Dunban, did you do this? You could probably believe it, but I'm still trying to figure out what that thought was that I lost. Let's see, we were talking about building a PC. But now he has 2 arms. I was about to spoil something for future redeemed just now and say, but now he's... then like finish that sentence in a way. Thought better of it. You know, when I started streaming on this channel, I never thought that I would be willing to play Xenoblade 1 on stream. but Xenoblade X was not as big of a pain as I was thinking for a stream game. It was a little bit on the convoluted side, trying to show off all the quests that I, like, really dig and want to show off. But it wasn't so bad. For you as a chore. Okay, here's the... I actually really like a lot of things about 3. The gameplay, particularly, I quite enjoyed. And I'll be honest, I did not care for the story while I was playing the game. And especially when it ended... Okay, this is... I have a question for you specifically, Galarov. Which is worse? Xenoblade 3 ending. Xenoblade X Definitive Edition Chapter 13. You know what? Not specifically the ending. The final boss. And that whole everything that happened in relation to it. Because that's a tough choice for me, honestly. Oh, I blew it. They tried their best to tie them both. Poor job. Man. Looking back on it, I actually quite enjoyed the story from Xenoblade 3. And then they reveal that the main villain is actually the concept of fear. And it did not pull off a thing like that in any reasonable way whatsoever. I still am not happy about Zed as a character. It was big disappointing for me. The original Xenoblade final boss and ending was perfect. It really was. Wait a minute, can I, in Spreadfire, one-tap these guys? I cannot. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, the cheese strat. I think we have to use it. Yeah, everything with Zanza was seriously fantastic, and there is one criticism that I see people say a lot with, specifically Zanza's character. Yeah. No. I liked Zanza. I think he had a really good presence in the story, especially when he was in the flesh. Like that album by King Crimson. Or is that a Pink Floyd album? I'm really stupid. I'm also very tired. The complaint that I've seen by Xenoblade 2 enjoyers, which is a game whose story I hate more than any in the franchise, genuinely. I hated Xenoblade 2's story. I wasn't paying enough attention, but they were coming from a different direction. The complaint that I see is, you guys like a depthful villain, and that's why you didn't like a lot of the other villains in Xenoblade, but Zanza had, like, little to no depth. He didn't have a character arc. He didn't grow once he got on screen. When Zanza first, like, arrived on the scene, he did not change whatsoever until his death. And I don't know how to equate that complaint, to be honest, because, like, you think about it, it's like, I mean, his character arc happened before the game. There was depth to him. I don't know, I think I've worked my way through this, actually. Wasn't so bad. The Xenoblade 2 story was a typical shonen plot. You're very right. Vandom died as always. Oh no. Gotta put on a fucking bind. I'm not gonna use the idiot brush bind. I couldn't do that right now. I can't. That's too stupid for me today. I'm not gonna lie. First time through Xenoblade 2. This is, this character dying is like, you saw it coming from a million miles away, and you don't care for it when it's happening because everyone in the cutscene is like behaving like a fucking moron. Like, from the villains to the heroes, everyone in that cutscene is really stupid. One guy is like, "Hey kid, look at this cool thing I can do!" And he stabs 2 daggers into his chest and is like, "Now watch me go!" And he goes and fights. Another guy is the weakest character in the game, and he just keeps, like, holding W at the big bad and getting his ass kicked. Another character could save the day and is too scared that people will judge her. So they don't. It's a really, really dumb scene. But when I go back to it... there's a thing that happens in the music in that song. I forgot to queue up. There we go. There's a thing that happens in the music that lets you know that this character is going to die, no matter what. There's a very specific chord change. They do a walk down like 4 times. But they get to the 4th walk down, and suddenly they add an extra chord with an extra half step down. And I hear that chord and I'm like, that is the music telling me this character has 1 foot in the grave and there's no coming back from this. And I love that shit. That is genuinely good songwriting. Songwriting? Is it songwriting? It's composition. It's composition. There we go. Fucking hell, that's why their world would want to delete itself. Yeah! More glowflies. Yeah, thinking back on it, that cutscene was really dumb, wasn't it? Just everyone behaving like a fucking moron, and then getting bailed out by Deus Ex Machina. Oh no. My phones are ringing. It's a good thing I muted the ringer. You know, every once in a while I forget to mute the ringer, and in those streams in particular, I'm dead. In those streams in particular, I'm reminded... oh, I could have saved it if I just pushed my booyah button a little sooner. In those streams in particular, I'm reminded how many fucking spam calls I get in a day. For the last, like, year, I have never had a day go by with less than 5 spam calls. Every single day. At least 5. I get more spam calls than I get actual calls of worth. At such a staggering ratio that if I do get a call of worth, I tend not to pick it up anymore. And for some reason, while I'm streaming, it's more than ever. Wow, you're a spam call magnet. It really seems so. Although, I had some asshole friends in high school, and I'm still using the same phone number. And these asshole friends thought it would be funny to, do a bunch of shit that wasn't funny but would make someone's life actively worse, and then they would laugh about it for the next, like, while. And every once in a while, their standards dropped a little bit, and they'd decide that, like, you know what? This guy who's in our friend group, why don't we just, like, terrorize them for a bit? And it's been happening, or rather, when I was in high school, it happened to so many different people in that friend group that we kind of just left it and made our own friend group with blackjack and hookers. What I'm getting at is, one of the things they thought would be really funny to do was take my phone number that they knew because we were friends and sign it up for a bunch of spam call things. Like, I want to be notified about this, here's my phone. As many websites as they could find. And for a while, it was constant spam calls. I just had to turn off the phone part of my phone. I only did outgoing calls for like a year or so. And it calms down every once in a while, but whenever it's an election year, it gets up to like 10, 20 calls per day again. And it's kind of fucking stupid. This is a thing that happened when I was like 16, 17. And it is still happening today at age 27. Their funny little shitty prank has made my life actively worse for the better part of a decade. So that's cool. I hope I didn't just give, like, some degenerate out there the idea that,
Sign up my friend. Ruin their phone.
I think there's a pretty fine line, I would say, between, like, a funny prank and one that actively, like, worsens someone's quality of life. I think that line was crossed indeed. The TLDR of that story is, several years later, it became very clear that the friend that orchestrated all of this stuff was actually a sociopath. By the textbook definition. So that was a weird thing to realize. That someone can kind of just be playing you for their own entertainment. But enough about that. What is the thing I was saying earlier? I'm still hung up on it. I'm not gonna lie. It was pertinent, it was relevant, it was worth saying, and it's gone forever. It's been consumed by the mind ether. You know what? I'm feeling better. I can swing the sword and do the funny flicks. I'm happy. All's well. Blame the mind flayers. They've given me the mind virus. Man, that's a game I could stand to play. Baldur's Gate 3. I was about to say Baldur 3. A game... The final game in the trilogy where you attain baldness. Oh god, Balding Gate. That's a good one. You know what? Maybe if I do ever play that game, I'll do it on stream and I'll make my character bald, and that'll be the title of the stream. Easy. Oh wow, this rotation's weapons aren't as bad as yesterday. Not at all. I mean, seriously, top tier Stamper right here. Top tier Wellstring. I can't aim, I'm bad. And then you get the ink brush. So it's like 50% busted, 25%, okay, yeah, I can handle bathtub. 25%, this is the worst weapon in the entire mode. So, it's a weird rotation. We'll see how long I can stand to do it. I might end up turning on the idiot brush bind after a while. Maybe not though, because it is not as useful as you'd think. Anyway, Balding Gate 3. Okay, that's where I was going. I recalled. Last one just had every weapon I didn't want to play in Salmon Run. Was it the Dynamo? Glugas, Luna? I won't lie, there was some oddities to that rotation. We just got done with it. So, I am not particularly shy about my love for abridging an abridged series. I talk about it with some regularity, because it's just one of those art forms that, like, YouTube has basically killed. YouTube saw that people were doing it and they were like, this is not commercially viable. You're gone now. Grandpa, we've talked about abridged before. You're not wrong. I'm going somewhere with this. I watched a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series growing up, obviously. As I have said on occasion. But I got a bug in my brain. There's this thing that happened in Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, where, like, one of the characters, when they were saying the word fuck, they would censor it with a soundbite that went, Eck. And it was a really weird and specific soundbite. And I was like, why? Where did Little Karibo get this, A, this idea, and B, the executions? You youngins always forget things with your electronic phone, so we have to repeat stuff to you all the time. No, this is new information, I promise. So, I wanted to know what this soundbite was from. So I looked it up, found nothing, and I kept, like, changing my search. And eventually I found the source. There was a show that aired on Adult Swim about 15 years ago called Perfect Hair Forever, featuring the worst art, the worst dialogue, the worst voice acting. Genuinely one of the worst shows I've ever seen. Actually, like, rancid. Awful show. I hope no one in the audience is like, oh, that's my favorite show, Perfect Hair Forever. The plot is, like, a high schooler is going bald, and they wish they could have perfect hair forever, so they go on an adventure. The way that fucking explosion clipped with the sound, I love that. Anyways, Perfect Hair Forever was a just awful, awful show. But I started watching it, and I noticed that... Wait a minute. Little Karibo put that in his abridged series too. Wait a minute, that's another reference to Perfect Hair Forever. It was just thing after thing. The dude must love this show. But holy shit, that show sucks. I can't recommend it any less. It's such a weird thing. There was a lot of very odd things that happened on Adult Swim over the years. He was an outlier. So if you really want a bad time, there's the TLDR. Just watch that show. You'll have a really bad time. There you go. You'll just be like blown away how the plot goes nowhere and nothing happens. You know, when I was in literal middle school, this was like child Mumph's first opportunity to wake up really early in a house by themselves and watch whatever he wanted on TV for a little bit before having to, like, walk 3 miles to school. I lived at this very funny range where the bus would not... It was just under the range that the bus was required to take you to school. So I had to walk 3 miles, too. Because that was the exact threshold. That's neither here nor there. So before walking to school, I would put on Adult Swim. And always, every single time, Home Movies was on. That is one that has held up phenomenally well. H. John Benjamin and a couple other voice actors just, like, improvising entire scripts. That's a good-ass show. You know, I'm still tired. I'm going from tangent to tangent at this point. God damn it. Bye, B. I've been getting shit sleep lately. You gotta forgive me. And I'm still upset that I forgot about that thing earlier. I'm not gonna lie, like, every once in a while I start, like, stalling to hope that I remember what I was talking about, like, 30 minutes ago. And there's just no chance. It's never coming back. So, instead, why don't we talk about this rotation? Because that's something I haven't really done yet. I loosely mentioned how some of these weapons are fucking busted in this mode. Sword, you can tell. A weapon that can do that is gonna be one of the best weapons in the game. You can just do so much with this in terms of, like, grinding through lesser enemies, 1 to 2 shotting everyone else. You can hit anybody. It's seriously, seriously busted in this mode. And there are times when, you know, I think every week or so I go back and forth on thinking that Toothbrush is the best weapon in the mode, or Sword is the best weapon in the mode. And Wiper's not far behind it. This is just a busted-ass weapon class for this mode. And then you have Wellstring with literally 5 shots per shot. The DPS is insane. Oh, we're getting a little overwhelmed here. We can do this. We do this. This is easy. Easy money. And then there's Bloblobber. It's a shame this weapon doesn't bring too much to the table, but it's not horrible at anything, so I'm never upset when I see it. It's just kind of there, you know? Guys, it's just a steelhead. My pet has been peeved. I should be the one this weighing. I'm fighting a missile man. Oh god. All good, but I don't have a sword anymore, so I can't, like, live out here. Cannot be my home. I can't already be out of things to say. I think I'm just very tired today. I got the worst sleep I have had in months. Last night and the night before. So, salmon running on empty is not a joke. It is real. Oh, there's no way I can flip that, is there? Yeah, not when they're happening. Alright, we gotta take care of this thing. All good. Would you believe me if I said I'm still trying to stall to figure out what the hell I was saying 30 minutes ago? It felt that pertinent to me. Just be honest, you forgot to write your yapping lines yesterday and blame it on being tired. Every Mumph stream is fully scripted. It's a good concept. Okay, no joke, there are some times when I'm like, oh, fuck, I need to tell people about this, so I will write it down before, like, in the off time in between streams. But that's like one thing per stream, and it takes me like 10 seconds to get through. And usually it happens right after I click the start streaming button. I do like the concept, though. The entire stream is scripted. Tonight I'm gonna see my uncle in a boxing match. Beautiful. I hope he wins. Keep forgetting to queue up. You know what? I gotta figure something out. Huh. That's not particularly good paint, is it? I've been writing this video that's just about finished. I've been capturing footage for it. Called Painting Optimally with Every Weapon in Splatoon 3. And I think Bloblobber has like the least intelligent paint in the entire game. You might think it's like a really good painting weapon. But there are two things you can do. You can do this, and that's not particularly good paint. Because, like, what are you supposed to do with those little dots that you get? Or you can just do straight line paint. And it's not much in terms of straight line paint. I do not like painting with this weapon, but I genuinely don't think you can do any better. I had my fingers crossed that maybe, if you just bounce off the walls a whole bunch, maybe you can somehow tap into some secret paint. But alas, there is no greater method. Stop it, we know! Look at him go! He's mashing the ink brush as fast as he can, and he's not doing it that well. I knew he did boxing matches, but I didn't expect to ever see him in a boxing match. Luckily, I'm not the one fighting him. Whoa. It's always cool when a family member can do that kind of shit. I hope you got, like, free tickets for the fight. If it is a ticketed event. You gotta fight your family member. Do it now. Put the gloves on so I can swing at you. Whenever I go silent for like 10-20 seconds, it is literally me trying to figure out what the hell I was saying 30 minutes ago. I think I have to just give up. I think I have to concede it. It has been lost to time. I think I'm just wasting everybody's time and brain cells by bringing it back up over and over again, and I'm sorry for that. I'll be better. I promise. So here's the thing I can talk about. Oh god. There's an awful habit that I have of when I do a voice crack, I will then make the worst voice crack noise immediately after. That one was exceptionally bad. So here's the deal. We do a lot of streaming. Like 3 to 4 times a week. It's not a crazy amount. We're not everyday streamer over here, but we do a lot of this shit, and I can talk a good amount. But as is evident from the way my memory is showcasing itself today, I'm surprised they're using that little throw from over there. That's pretty cool. What is very evident is that I forget things. And when I want to do, like, a legitimate video, the reason I always script it, instead of just, like, going off the cusp and talking about it, is that I hate not being comprehensive. So I can't just put the record button? I can't just push the record button and record something, because after I finish recording it, I'm like, God damn it, I forgot to mention this! So we script. And scripting a single video takes, like, up to 2 weeks sometimes for me. Other times it is literally like I shit out an entire script over the night. But that is the exception, not the rule. This is a lobby full of this way users. You know what? I've got another dumb video idea. I like to be comprehensive. Like I said, I like to have something to say with my videos. I have a Splatoon video called Types of Salmon Runners that has nothing to say. Other than, like, there are some very quirky individuals in this mode that do very specific things. Oh, ink brush moment. We made it. Is this our first time getting ink brush today? I like to shit on this weapon in this mode, because the DPS is, like, laughable, the range is pitiful. It's not a good weapon for the mode, but it can do this. So it's not worthless, you know? It brings something to the table. It also doesn't have a bad matchup against Flip-Flop. Anyways, types of salmon runners. This way spammers, jumpers, people who jump off the edge of the map after every single round. That's the tip of the iceberg. I ended up getting like 20 different kinds of salmon runners in the notes. Oh my god, the damage is so bad on this thing. They should really buff this thing in Salmon Run. I know they won't, because they never do. They never buff things in Salmon Run, only nerf them. There was one patch ever where they buffed things in Salmon Run. One! The damage is so bad it's getting bluer on the other side. Bluer? The enemy team is blue. Oh! I hope that's not because of my color balance. Oh no, we dropped frames. Son of a bitch! They're, from my point of view, the Jedi are evil. And the color is like a greenish slop color. Man, I wish I could use this weapon. I really do. The way this thing plays and can play, I actually quite like it. I can't mash. I can't do this. And look at how fast you can mash with this thing. You can go crazy with this weapon. But having to mash that often, throughout even a single game of Splatoon, that is too much for me. And I don't have one of those turbo binds, you know? I don't have a controller for that. Jedi aren't evil. Just... I'm not gonna say that word out loud. Oh, we got Ouroboros. All Jedi could turn to Sith, but no Sith could return to being Jedi. Did I say return twice? That is not what you wrote. Oh, I'm dead. Not dead. We made it. It says a lot about Jedis being inadequate to accept reality. I know there's a real-world analog. I know it. My Pro Controller has analog triggers, so I can't mash super fast with brush. That is menacing. Using a GameCube controller to play the game. Yeah, analog triggers sounds really, really bad. If you want to do brushes, though, that aren't this one because you'll hurt yourself, but Octobrush and Paintbrush, if you bind left bumper to right trigger, you might have a better time. Hell, this entire time that I've been mashing with Inkbrush, I can only do it with left bumper. My trigger finger has been worn out over the years. It's over. I can no longer mash. I used to get, like, called a cheater in Call of Duty lobbies where I would queue up with 2 pistols and just mash the hell out of the buttons. We destroyed our fingers in those days. Now I pull the trigger with my, like, with my middle finger, genuinely. It's an 8-bit dough ultimate. Ooh. I've heard a lot of good things about that controller. You know what? They have this. I'll throw some bombs. Big controllers are great. It's, here's the deal. Obviously, my opinion is very, very colored by all the Melee that I've played. You play enough Melee and you start to think that there is no controller out there that's even remotely good. Nothing comes close to the GameCube controller, and I know it's like Look at this fucking thing. Look at the GameCube controller. This thing, like, look at the layout. This is awful. This is a step up from the N64 controller at best. Please, somebody. Thank you. But since there's only been one controller that I've enjoyed, that wasn't a GameCube controller, and that has been the Switch Pro controller. Everything else has had something wrong with it, to me. I didn't hate the PS4 controller, I can say that. And I haven't tried every single controller. But the thing that makes GameCube controller, like, the best is the parts. There is no greater love than what I feel for... There is no greater, analog stick. Sorry, the jazz standards, they take over. There is no greater analog stick that has ever existed than the GameCube's analog stick. Having two analog triggers on an early console is kind of crazy. The D-pad, even. It's in a weird spot, but it's not one of those, like, horrible D-pads. It's got buttons under the surface of it. It's not one of those single plane D-pads. Duh. The only thing that Pro controllers do better is the gyro. And that is one of the reasons that I like this controller so much. Hey, it's a comfortable controller. I don't feel too bad if I use it for too long, unless I'm playing, like, Risk of Rain 2 on Switch for an hour or so, and I've hammered the left stick to sprint too many times. Oh, I looked at the chat. I'm an idiot. I should have paid attention to the shark. No! Throw another. Save me, I have strikes. Thank you. It feels like I'm one of the few that think the GameCube controller layout is garbage. You're not wrong. It is kind of a garbage layout. But it's the parts that really do it for me. The feel of using it is like, just like top tier, genuinely. At least, when you play enough Melee, you start to get like, you start to get overly comfortable. And I held it like a claw grip. Like, imagine a GameCube controller. Right thumb is on the B button. Let's go over here. Right thumb on B. Pointer finger is on Y. Middle finger on Z. Ring finger on the trigger. We use full claw. Even then, I started getting, like, overly comfortable with this controller. I was like, this is great, I could do this all day. I recently bought a Cyclone 2, and it might be the best controller I've ever used. Not compatible with Switch, though. Aw. Oh. We live. Oh, that was unfortunate. Let me just walk over here. Yes! I love getting to do this. Oh no! I love just getting to smack the weak spot with the sword. All the buttons are mechanical instead of those weird membraned buttons. Ooh. I have been... Ever since I got, like... Oh, I'm dead. Ever since I got, like, horribly arthritic, I've been playing most games with a keyboard controller. Keyboard controller? Why did it say it like that? I've been playing most games on keyboard. And I do think keyboard and mouse might be the most ergonomic of every control scheme. And I wish more games... I wish there were more games you could play on keyboard alone, you know? But often you need the nuance of an analog stick or a mouse. So I understand why it's not the standard, but god damn it. Playing Kirby Air Ride or F-Zero GX on a keyboard? No mouse, just a keyboard? That feels great. Genuinely. Good time. Very good time. Oh man, you know what? I just remembered it. Yesterday, We did this whole last RimWorld stream. Yesterday. 2 days ago. We did this whole last RimWorld stream. And the entire time, I didn't know that I fucked up the go live notification and I said it was Salmon Run. The entire time I didn't know this. Let's hope that never happens again. You can flip a switch on the controller and can turn the L2 and R2 between analog and normal buttons. Are you kidding me? That's possible? That's insane. Controller tech has gone a long way. I think the way I said controller just now is gonna get me demonetized. I, like, slurred through the word. Also got back buttons. You know, I've never actually owned a controller that has turbo. Not once. I'm just gonna do this. I'm sure I'll get some value out of doing this. I've never actually gotten to use Wellspring in Glowflies. It seems pretty alright. Ooh. Good strike. I think we do this. I think we have this. If we keep playing like we're playing, using our specials carefully like this, I think we've got this. Am I still glowflied? Nope, not anymore. It's also got turbo, but I never use turbo for anything. Uh-oh. Doing it again! They actually just broke the shield on Booyah Bomb. That scared the shit out of me. I was gonna stall as long as I could. If you want to play this game, turbo. There are some weapons that, if you're not using turbo, you're just gonna have a really bad time. It's an accessibility thing, if I'm being honest. Obviously, like, I have to think that, given that I have arthritis. I can't play the weapons that make me mash the button. Like this one that this guy's using with the ink brush. You have to mash to reach your maximum DPS. He's got it. But there are also some that are like the best weapons in the game, like Squeezer, where you have to mash. And if you don't mash, you get like this really shitty weak shot that doesn't really go anywhere. Versus this maximum range 3-shot kill that can outrange and out DPS most of the strongest weapons in the game. It's a good weapon to have a turbo for. The TLDR. A good weapon. It's a good game to have a turbo for. That's what I was trying to say. I'm just gonna walk until someone kills this snake. If no one does it, I'm going on an adventure. Thank you, Pixel. I was like seriously ready to walk all the way up there and around. I was ready to do it. Wait a minute, didn't you just die? Were there two of them clipping into each other? Is that what happened? Uh-oh. Stop it. Okay, that was a good tri-strike. This guy's just watching the action. He's not throwing bombs anymore. He's given up. Oh no. It's happening again! Snake magnet. Oh, I'm alive. We're good. I had to I had to wake up a little bit. I'm doing alright. You know, there was a thing I used to do in high school. Objectively stupid, by the way, and I don't recommend it. But I've had awful sleep for as long as I can remember. Given the memory issues that we've discussed today alone, that might not be all that long. Nonetheless, I have been unable to sleep for as long as I've been alive. At least that's how it feels. I'm always envious of people who can just choose to go to sleep when they're tired. Because that just doesn't happen for me. And in high school, that was a serious problem. Because every day I had to... Oh, no. I'm an ink brush. We can do this. We do this. We do this. Pixel, I got you. Oh, I don't got you, Pixel. The bomb didn't save that other guy. I don't think we have this because someone left. And that someone was playing Wellstream. Time to become the mashing hero. Oh. Oh, no. We do this! I'll get back to my story in just a moment. Again? Oh, we don't do this. We do not do this. Oh, no. We tried. You know, that was actually a good situation to have an ink brush. It definitely saved our lives. We didn't win, but... Anyways, back to the story. I've had sleep issues for a very, very long time. And in high school, when you have to be up at like 5 AM every single day, that gets a little rough. And there were times when I would just not sleep for like 3 days straight because I couldn't. Like, shit's fucked. Luckily now I have a medication that I have been prescribed that's been pretty good at making it relatively consistent. Outside of last night where it, you know, every once in a while you still have an issue. But most of the time I can go to sleep when I want to sleep. In high school this was not the case. So I had to resort to doing anything I could to being awake enough to digest what I was hearing in, like, calculus. You try doing calculus on, like, 3 days of staying awake, 3 days of no sleep. You can't intuit that kind of stuff. So, to wake myself up, there were two methods. Go to a water fountain, it's cold water, splash it on your face. That one's easy. But what do you do if you can't access a water fountain? Here is the stupid thing that I would do that would kind of work. But I don't recommend it. I would straight up smack myself in the face. This is desperate times called for desperate measures kind of shit. I would love to say that I could have just, like, drank a soda or had a Monster or a 5-hour energy, but at that point, I had done so much of that shit that it wasn't affecting me anymore. So I would just smack myself in the face. And then, I'd be up. I'd be awake for another 5 minutes. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna be facing it. No! Let me live! Alright, I got something really stupid to show you. So I've mentioned before, I had to ban a couple words from the stream. And those words, I don't really have an issue telling you guys it right now, because they're, I mean, they're common words, and I don't want you feeling like I'm, like, deleting your messages if you use one. But that's something that the auto mod's gonna do. And those words are views, viewers, and a certain website that doesn't deserve a spot in my mouth. So I will not be saying it. And the reason that I ban the words views and viewers is specifically because I get these bots in my chat, like, at least once a stream, that are asking me to buy views. Every single stream, this happens. And I couldn't figure out a better way to get rid of them, because there are thousands of these bots. You can ban as many accounts as you want. You will not be getting all of them. So this was my blanket solution, was to mute these words. So, I mean, again, I'm not, like, upset if someone's gonna call me, like, zero viewer streamer. That's not gonna, like, upset me. But I will be upset if I see this bot in my chat every single fucking time that I stream. That will upset me. Someone left again! This is not going well. So, you take the bad with the good. I'm sorry if that's ever eaten one of your messages. But here's what I'm getting at. Sometimes these bots like to circumvent this. And they'll do something really weird to the word. To one of the words that they use that might get targeted by automod. Would you like to see the word viewers that was just written in my chat room? And this is something that automod did not catch. Luckily it caught the website name, because the website is, let's just say they're a little blatant about that they are doing this. Oh god. 6 eggs? Can we do that? We do this. I think I just killed him with a roll. We did this. Beautiful. I'm just gonna go over here so I can type it. If I die, I die. It's fine. Look at it. Look at that plus under the E. They surpassed automod by putting a plus under the E in viewers. Why? Why is this the world we live in? That is unbelievably stupid. It's enough of that, though. I talk about that a little too often, because it happens literally every stream. I would love to just forget about it. But then I have someone use a word that's on the banned list, and it makes me very sad. God, this weapon feels great. I want to play more Stamper. Maybe I should pick up Stamper again. It's just so fun. It's one of the most... oh god. It's one of the most fun weapons in any team-based shooter that I've ever used. Genuinely. And I've used the Market Gardener. This is up there. Come on up here. You can do it. You saved the run. We can totally do this, by the way. Okay, Wavebreaker, go! Make it happen. Oh, we already won. That was a cool 3-man salmon run. Lovely. Wavebreaker, go! I'm out of here. Thank God we didn't get the, Boris for that fight. That would have been really, really upsetting. I've had a 3-man Boris before, and it never works out. Ever. You know, last Salmon Run stream, someone said I should buy, the iridescent slop suit with the scales, and I was like, you know what? No, it's not for me. The other day I went to the store and I realized that I already bought it. So... I'm full of shit. Don't believe a thing this guy says. It's all nonsense all the way down. What a great weapon this is. I gotta stop ruminating on the Stamper. I could talk about it all day. It's just crazy to me that they put, like, the literal sword beam from Zelda in a team-based shooter. Whose idea was this? Genius. If I get another DC, I'm gonna be a little sad. We've had too many DCs. My commentary, just make a scared noise every now and again. Oh god, this might not be a particularly good comp for Fog. It might be fine, a lot of us are pretty decent in melee combat, but not knowing that this guy was there, and it's high tide as well, oh joy. I think Crush is dead. This is not going to be particularly easy. I'm at ink. Oh, what have I done? So we talked a lot about the controllers earlier. A lot of different controllers out there that are very good, and how much I love the Pro Controller. But I have a little bit of bad news. Lately, this thing has been happening with my Pro Controller that it's been happening enough that I expect to see it on stream one day. Where slowly, it will just stop reading inputs to the point where it like reads one input every 3 seconds. Like, nothing you do will register. And then eventually it just stops reading inputs altogether. And the only thing that has gotten it to stop doing that has been literally smacking it. That is dangerous, because the more you mistreat, I guess, a controller like this, the worse it is going to get. And if the only solution to this kind of problem is mistreating it, well, there's only so much time this controller has left. I got this controller when I got Splatoon 3, and I haven't used it for too much else. Like, I think we used it, any game that we've played on the Switch, we've been using this same controller. But 1,800 hours of Splatoon later, this thing is falling apart. The gyro drifts now. It's getting up there. And I do not want to buy a new Pro Controller before the Switch 2 releases. Sorry. I'm sorry if I make all these scared noises, like, too often. Did I hit him? I did. That's like... it's a bit of a weird thing that I get so invested in whatever game I'm playing that I start making noises as though I'm, like, legitimately terrified of what's in front of me. And when I do, like, a big jump like this, I'll go like, whoa! And that just, like, happens on autopilot. That is, like, I don't intend to be doing that. It's just a thing that gets done. I wonder why. I'm sure there's, like, some scientist out there that's like, well, you got gamer brain. It's over for you. You'll be dead in 3 years. It's fatal. Never got to show off the roller trick against the big man. The big cannon man. I'm sad about it. Oh god. This is the danger of having a weapon like this that can hit a fish stick but has to just stare straight up for a long, long time to get rid of it. You can get bum rushed by like 100 lessers, a stinger, a shark. You can get bum rushed by literally everything while you're doing that. I do not consider that to be a good matchup, even if you can hit it, if you have to just stare. We know, dude. We know you need help. We're kind of predisposed at the moment. Oh, we're gonna lose. Not if I can help it. Oh no, we're gonna lose. We didn't! We did it! Beautiful! I'm gonna do a slick shark jump. You know, I think I'm gonna be honest, Reef Slider, the Shark Slide special, I think I'm one of its biggest haters in terms of game balance. In that I think it's just not very good at all. People hate this thing. Like, a lot of people hate this thing. For a lot of different reasons. And I think more often than not, someone who hates Reef Slider hates it because of zones cheese. And the way you can just kind of instantly capture a zone if you're running a bunch of special power on it. And it's worth hating for that. But I think I hate it because it's bad. I think I hate it because unless you have cooler, it gets you killed. Oh no. And what it can do is often really easy to avoid. Not my brightest moment. Ah! Oh, come on. Why? I never had a life at all. It was over. I got you, float my what? Is that float my boat? Float Maca, okay. Float McBoat is a good Splatoon name. If anyone needs one, there you go. Oh my god. We did about as good as we could. Yeah, ink brush on a boss salmonid is never a good thing. I can't think of a single boss where it's been like, yes! Ink brush! We got this! Granted, there's only 3. That's not indicative of all that many bad matchups, but still. By the way, I am like a hair's breadth away from committing to like just playing ranked for the next several months. I'm hoping to time it when a season starts, so I don't end up, you know, starting my ranked journey and then immediately getting ranked down because the season ends. I want to get really into that. I've been doing way too much Splatoon stuff recently. I think I really am gonna, like, try getting into comp Splatoon. I think, thinking about it. I've been, like, this is the thing I do with every game that can be taken competitively, even if I have no intention of playing it competitively. I study up on the comp strats and techniques. It happened with TF2, which I have never entered a single competitive lobby with. It's happened with a lot of games over the years. But for Splatoon, I think I want to do it. So we're gonna. And to get better at this game, lately, I've been trying to study tournament VODs. Because the one thing that I don't fully understand is the flow of, like, a single game. Knowing exactly when the opportune time to use a special is. And not just using it because you have it, and because it can accomplish something. But saving it for something very important. Knowing the right times to use something, knowing the right positions to be in at the right times. Some of that nuance is just lost on me. I want to figure that shit out. It can be like a whole hell of a lot of fun improving at anything. And committing to that process. And I've been like sorely out of a thing like that I can commit to improving at. I mean, unless you want to talk about streaming and like making video, but that's not really a technique kind of thing that demands practice. It just demands your 10,000 hours, you know? Your aggregate. Oh, are we gonna lose? I think we might. Ink brush power, go! So, literally, lately, I've been studying a bunch of tournament VODs. I've been doing aiming drills in Splatoon. I've been doing actual aiming drills. Which is something I've never done before in this game. In fact, I don't know if I've ever done aiming drills in any shooter game. Might be a first for me. We're dead serious. Do it. Good work. I can say, that same philosophy does not apply to Salmon Run. It has before. There was one time when I wanted to be, like, very into overfishing, which if you don't know overfishing, it's literally just, like, trying to get the maximal amount of eggs. High scoring. The most. And I feel like everyone has a phase with Salmon Run where they want to get into overfishing, if you play it enough. Because it's very fun to learn the techniques that make you better at this mode. It's just, there's one big barrier of entry for doing overfishing, and it's that you need a consistent team that also wants to do overfishing. Any team that I could make in Splatoon wants nothing to do with overfishing whatsoever. And I don't even want it that badly. It's good enough for me just to know the techniques. Like luring, like, killer whaling the basket on, Mothership and... what's the other wave? Tornado. Okay. Guess I'm gonna walk. You know, they released a shoe in this game. We're scraping the bottom of the topic barrel right now. They released a shoe in this game that is not a shoe. It is literally just an ankle bracelet, and your character's barefoot. And I was like, you know what? This might go well with a couple of outfits. You know me, I'm picky about the outfits I make with my characters. And I put it on in one game. And somehow, walking around in the game and seeing my character's foot contact with the ink on the floor like, it did something to my brain. I was just like, I can't do this. I cannot have this on. This does not work. It disturbed me. I think we just stole that shark kill. One of my favorite things to do with the sharks in this game is, like, not to bomb them. Just shoot. Oh, no. We live. Just like that. Did the audio get weird there in the game for anyone else? That was... I feel like some noises ended before they were supposed to, and the audio kind of clipped a little bit. Oh. I can't aim, I'm horrible. I'll leave, it's fine. I'm not gonna lie to you, I kinda wanted to play more of that earlier rotation too. I just woke up a bit late. And I had such a headache from the god-awful sleep we've been getting that I was just like, no. No. I like this map. I'm glad it's only good map today. That makes me very happy. Man, this weapon will be so fun. I keep getting very sad that I can't match. But it'll never happen. It wasn't meant to be. So unless Nintendo puts like an accessibility mode in the game, in Splatoon 3 Deluxe for the Switch 2. Or S4. How did you get up there? You're not supposed to do that. I think we're just gonna be stuck, unable to play certain weapons. No. So there's a game I've been thinking about playing on stream. I have a tendency to play a couple different kinds of games when I stream. It's either gonna be like a game that I'm really into and just want to play a whole hell of a lot of. You know what? There's three kinds. There's that kind. There's nostalgia gaming. Games that I grew up with and have a particular attachment to. And then there's games that I just want more people to know exist. And there's this game called Wobble Dogs. That if anyone liked the Chow Gardens in Sonic Adventure, it's basically that but a game. And I got the game because I thought I would enjoy it. Immediately, I couldn't put it down for like 40 hours. It's a good one. And I've been wanting to stream it. But it needs to be done at the right time. It's gotta be one of those low energy, low thinking days. It could have been today. But there was a Salmon Run rotation that I wanted to hit. And here we are. Ah! How did that get me? Okay. That's fine. Yeah, you know what? I think going forward, if I'm ever this tired before I hit the start streaming button again, I might want to hold off, because I've never been this brain dead on stream before. It's a new quality of Mumph. It's low quality Mumph. So I've got a thing I can talk about. I've figured it out. We found the next topic of interest. And it's a classic. You know him. You love him. Randy from Gearbox made a post. He gave a quote. And that quote was, I hear a lot of fans are worried about the $80 price tag of Borderlands 4, which, Borderlands 4 has an $80 price tag now. That's pretty funny. Didn't know when that happened, but I guess it's happening. And here's what he said in response to that. True fans will find a way. True Borderlands fans will find a way to pay $80 for a product that is not worth their money. Oh, it's gonna be hilarious when he gets like single-digit sales and finds out that no one cares about Borderlands anymore. They've tarnished their reputation. It's over. $80 for a fucking Borderlands game, and he has the gall. You guys have phones. That man disturbs me. You guys paid like $1,000 for the iPhone last year. You won't give $80 to Borderlands? The little old Borderlands? Little small company Gearbox? Hold up. Oh. Alright, well, you know how... I was remembering the Diablo Immortal line from Blizzard? Oh god, what a tragedy that game was. Came out just as I was getting into, Diablo. It's a good thing Diablo 2 is still so good to go back to. Uh-oh. Did I throw an egg at the basket that doesn't exist? Is that something that happened? Alright, so I got interrupted mid-stream, and it's presented bad news. That might actually be good news for my reputation, but it's bad, it does not bode well for this stream. I mentioned earlier that around noonish, I might have to disappear and do a BRB for like 5-10 minutes. Turns out that was not communicated to me properly, and it's not gonna be about 10 minutes. I'm gonna be going on a trip. It's probably gonna take like 2 hours. So... surprise! Today's stream is gonna have to end a little early, which is a major bummer. One legend on the Q&A after Diablo Immortal's announcement was, is this a very late April Fool's joke? They could've... oh, they should totally have pivoted. We were joking, guys. It's not real. No such thing as Diablo Immortal. We made it up. Oh, we lost. I was the last one. I'm a fool. They could totally have played off Diablo Immortal as a joke. It would have worked so well. Not enough companies do that. The only time in recent history that I can remember a product turning out so bad that the creators said, "Sorry, it was a joke. We got you guys. You thought we were gonna make something serious? You thought we were gonna care about our product? It was a joke." The Minecraft movie. That is the only time I have seen that happen in, like, decades. That's a play that more companies need to do. We made a thing that was awful? Gotcha. It was just a sick prank. Give that play to all the PR firms. It's the next big tech in big company. You know, I have a weird situation to discuss, I think, with a Blizzard property called World of Warcraft. As a very, very young lad, I didn't play it, but there were enough people talking about it at my school that the students were getting the teachers to play it. And I was like, oh, this sounds really cool. You can do anything. You can be like some sort of fantasy creature. It's like some sort of fantasy life. That, I'm not even hitting it, am I? I was really interested in the concept, but the thing that kept me back was the price tag. I had never played a subscription service game, and well, the prospect of $10 every month for the rest of your life if you want to keep your video game, that did not appeal to me. It still doesn't. I know I pay for Switch Online, but still, you catch my drift. So I kind of refused to play World of Warcraft because I didn't want to feel it in my wallet. I would rather play, like, Guitar Hero for the DS, which was actually one of the better purchases I've ever made, if you can believe it. We just got 2 flip-floppers with brush. Feels good. I was gonna point out the Nintendo Online thing. I'm ahead. I knew it. I knew. It's very real. I've ended up paying monthly for certain things, and I hate it. I pay for Spotify every single month, and I'm like, I need it as a musician, but it still infuriates me to no end. Anyways, eventually, the bookend of the story, World of Warcraft became free to play up to a certain point. And I never played it. So the one barrier of entry for me was that I had to pay. And by the time they made it free, the reputation of Blizzard was such that I no longer even believed it was a product worth owning and spending my time on. It's so fucking sad. I have no idea if it was a good game. It might have been. But you think I trust Activision Blizzard? No. I wonder if we're gonna get a new Discord. Because, like, when Skype started becoming total dog shit, Discord hit the scene, everyone's been using it. And it's been a good thing for a good while. And then the Activision guy comes in and he's like, I own the company now, we're putting ads everywhere. And yesterday I went to play Dark Souls 3 with my best friend. And there were 4 Discord Nitro ads on the screen that we had to click through. They were pop-up ads. They're putting pop-up ads in Discord or Discord services. So it's on its way out. is the TLDR. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Discord is on its way out. So what's gonna come in to replace it? Will anything come in to replace it? I mean, I hope so. It's the tendency. We get something that we like. It turns to shit. We all move over to Blue Sky. We get something that we like. It turns to shit. We all start emulating games for the rest of time. we no longer buy things. What will happen with Discord? Because that is it's one of those things that I guess I kind of took for granted. Like, you think it's just such a thing, you know? It's such an easy thing to have, now that it's been around for like a decade. But now that it's falling apart and nothing quite has the features that are very useful, it's scary stuff. There will always be something new to take its place, and then that will turn to shit as well after a while. It's like the man once said, all things must pass. I read that album title, and I think to myself, I'm like, this is advice for, like, if you're worried about the situation that you're in, it's not going to be around forever. Don't worry, it will pass. But lately, I look into George Harrison's All Things Must Pass, and I'm like, this is a threat. All things must pass. You like something now? It's going. It is on its way out. All things must pass. It'll happen to you. Oh no, this is not looking so hot. Can we clutch? Wait, we missed this guy? Oh, I made a misplay, but we won! Thank God. And the cycle continues. It's threatening. That guy's name was Helopio. Was I reading that wrong? Hold up. What a name! That's such a good one. I'm gonna miss you, Helopio. But I've gotta go. If I do find something to replace Discord and I'm like, oh, this is great. I could be using this now. You'll be the first to know. I just hope it has, like, enough features, you know? Yeah, I definitely took for granted that, like, on the same app, I could screen share to my friends, I could do a voice call, a video call, I could also, like, network, I could share things, there was so much you can do on Discord. But it's about to slowly get paywalled to death. And then there's so much you can't do with Discord, unless you're paying every month $1 million. That was a lot of items. I think I needed those chunks. Did we get a lot of bomb defense? Let me just check real quick. God damn it. We got 4. I spent all of my bomb defense. I spent all of it. I've got like 200 quick respawn. I spent all the bomb defense. I can't make a single new piece of bomb defense gear. It makes me so sad. Because now that, like, the meta is burst bombs everywhere, I'm trying to put bomb defense on all my fits, and it's taken a lot. We got a Gamba before we go. It's required. Just another grease. I like the title system in this game. I just wish I could get the Explo title, you know? It's all I want. Final Gamba. We just got a bunch of food tickets. What a waste of time. Alright. What? What just happened? Do I have a sword anywhere? There it is. I forgot I had the bind on. Check this out. You can get your character to, like, charge up the sword through the door. It's like they're about to hit someone with a baseball bat. Alright, anyways. I did make the cup ramen shrine, by the way. It did happen. It's real. But that'll be it for me. I'm gonna head off and, like, lift a bunch of broken pieces of roof, because that's actually what I'm gonna need to do now in my life. I'll be back tomorrow with Risk of Rain 2. Like I said, I've been in the mood for that game lately. And more soon as well, I think? Yeah, let's say yes. Thanks for coming by. Everyone who came by, thanks for watching. It's very much appreciated. Thanks for handling me at my worst, because this was a struggle stream for me, and the second it ends, I'm taking a Tylenol, and I'm gonna fall asleep mid-work. It'll be great. Anyways, thanks again. I'm gonna go now. Be well. Bye.